How you guys doing today? Welcome back. Today is August 11th, 2021. We have another SWINGCAST for you, episode 141, I believe. It's been a long year. Let's get into it. So if you're new here, great. What I ask from you up front, if you are new, watch the whole episode today. It'll be about 15 to 16 minutes, probably without introduction. Watch the whole thing before you subscribe, like, and comment, all those kinds of things. If you've watched this show multiple times, do me a favor. Comment down below today, right? Just say hi, do something. If you enjoy the show, a comment would be appreciated today. I appreciate you guys. I haven't asked for one in a while, so I think it'd be nice to say hello and see how everyone's doing. Let me know. With that being said, if you are new, we're talking about technical analysis. Now, technical analysis is probably 1/8 of what I do for the trading plan. If you want to know my full trading plan, what I want to do, the class is coming soon. About 25 classes are done. Gotta get through these. My work just came back to work, so again, it's gonna take a little bit longer. But again, everything worth something takes effort. And again, I'm making this as best I possibly can. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. So that will be coming soon. When it comes to technical analysis, though, we're going to cover 9 things: supports, resistance, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicator. So those 9 things are what we're going to be covering today. We have 8 tickers. Most of you probably never heard of before. Maybe a little. There's some boomer stocks in there too. It is what it is. But we're going to get into it. Right before we start again, yesterday's thumbnail upset some people. With that being said, it was a joke, and you should grow up, you children. So if you're that emotion connected to a stock, unsubscribe. I don't really care. It's okay. You'll be all right. So with that being said, let's get into it, shall we? So first is AMRS. We have our supports are white lines. The resistance is an orange line. Our supporting trends are going to be gold, and our resistance trends are going to be orange. So that's all your main charting. This is where 70% of our volume happens, and then this is where our POC is, all dictated by the volume profile. I do not have time to cover volume profile. I have a video here, bada boom, bada bing. You can watch 15-20 minutes in, out, watch it, you learn so much more about volume, and this will be applied to your technical analysis. Lastly are these boxes over here. This is my loading zone, my stop loss, my price target for a small swing, and then of course a longer term hold. These 4 things plus the newsletters can be found on the Discord. Again, it's free until the 1st of September. Come join us, add me on Discord, description box, or just follow the Patreon link. You can just sign up, 2 newsletters a day, community aspects, asking me direct questions, and of course my newsletters in the morning and at night. Good stuff, right? You'll have access to these today because I did the newsletter first today because I had time. So, AMRS, a great looking uptrend. Once, twice, 3 times. Each swing about 25, 30, even as high as 50% is what we've seen on some really nice moves up here. We're right back down to value. We have earnings. Every time we had earnings, overcorrection, it came back. Earnings, overcorrection, it came back. I'm hoping the same thing happens here with an overcorrection and a nice 10, 15% move at least. Right where you want it, obvious support spot, obvious trend line, maybe getting a little bit lower, but again, anywhere in here, I would be on high alert to see what it's going to do. Let's check the indicators. What's super cool is that I don't actually use indicators to scan or check my charting at all. With the TA, I only scan with price action. I don't even use RSI under 30s, VWAP, don't use it, and even EMA crossovers, don't use it. I only use price action. So what you're going to see live with me as I walk through it is the first time I see these indicators at all, ever, right? So let's go through these together. If you're a beginner, that's really going to help you out. So we can see that it's below all 3 EMA lines where it's improperly stacked, price 10, 50, 200. So again, we have obvious evidence of a really good value stock, right? You want to wait for a crossover. The 50 should come down probably more like this in the next few days. It crosses back over the 50 EMA line. You'll be good to go for a crossover play then. But we have pure value here. RSI shows that almost at 30. Stochastic shows that being very low beneath 40. Negative 50 is a good price. We want to probably get to negative 70. Let this come to us, hit that 1330 spot where that convergence is and reverse. Bulls are low, could be a bit lower. Bears are high, could be a bit higher. If you don't understand indicators, the class is coming. I have an hour lesson on these 4 indicators alone. If you like that, great. AMRS, I really like what it looks like. I think it's a fantastic value with the consolidation. It does match the major indexes that are also all consolidating as well. So if you see a breakout up, That should be good news for AMRS. A breakdown is not going to be good. So again, stop loss is needed, but AMRS watch listed at least and see what it does this week. Next is ARI. We have two trend lines. I'm watching this for a wedge forming, okay? You have two options here. So I put two boxes. You can buy where it is now and play for a breakout. I would not go for 1% here, okay? If you get a breakout, you're going to hold for a longer period of time over this resistance trend line, right? I'd hold for much longer, probably closer, probably $16 or $17 for a full hold. So you get a breakout, you can buy there. But a value buy could easily be towards $15 if the support holds. If this all breaks down, I want to buy towards the bottom of this wedge. We'll probably line up well with these supports over here, so keep that in mind. Earnings, it ran through it. It's kind of consolidating, going sideways. I'm sure the EMA lines, I'm sure the RSI will show consolidation as well. We're going to see a big move soon. Hopefully it's going to be up, do a nice move like this, and hopefully not down, but again, we have a stop loss. Let's check out these indicators. Yep, as you can see, the 200 was a great support before, but now it's being a small resistance. But see what the EMA lines are doing here? This is important for y'all who are new. Indicators can do four things, and four things only. Trend, momentum, volume, volatility. That's it. You can use them for other things like crossovers and such. That's totally fine. But the trend of the 200 has gone from this to that. Horizontal, putting more emphasis on consolidation, more emphasis on the support play. So again, the wedge is important, the triangle is important, but we have clear and concise support, and the trend is being horizontal. Put more weight into that now, right? Again, the candle has now crossed over all three EMA lines. That's your go signal. You can buy here, move your stop loss up to probably like 15.27 and try and play a breakout. That's totally fine. RSI, again, is fair. Stochastic overbought. We have the vortex being confused. ARI is not a good value purchase. That's obvious, but it's a really good breakout potential. Breakout, retest, takeoff. That's what we're looking for here. If it dies, great, buy off value. If it keeps going, you're going to want to probably buy off the breakout. ARI, I like it a lot. Let's watch list it. Next is HCAT. I'm emotionally connected to HCAT because it's always been good to me. I think 8 times I've called it, 7 times it's always printed for us. Let's keep it going. And a fantastic uptrend. It's only hit twice. Most trend lines in my book must hit 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Any one of you idiots, any one of me idiots can draw a line from point A to point B. But A, B to C is a true trend line in my book. We don't have that quite here. Now you could come over here and be like, well, the trend line's probably more likely over here. I would also agree, but again, the support's very strong. So we see HCAT break down another 4 or 5%. I'll be looking to enter somewhere around 49.50 right here. See the support down here? This breaks down. That's your next convergence spot. I keep a nice eye on that. But for today, HCAT does reverse fairly quickly and consolidates. I do like it right here. I want a little bit lower, or I want some life. I want value with very little risk, like maybe like a 2% stop loss, or I want to see some consolidation and some life. HCAT, always been good. Solid company over the last year. We can see we've played it multiple times. You can see why I played it. I played this a bunch, and now we're forming a new one, right? I want to see what we can do here. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. Now, I know HCAT pretty well. I know the 200 is going to be here. It's bouncing. We have great value. So again, you have an obvious sign of historical value. We have that. This will be a resistance moving forward. You can wait for the 10 cross, but again, this is a fine area for value. It breaks down and shows life usually. RSI, it's low. That's fantastic. Our stochastic looks good. That's a bullish divergence if I've ever seen one. Obvious little divergence. Not great, but it's there. Bulls low, bears high. HCAT definitely has a potential to get lower, and that should be on your guys' radar, that the trend line may be a bit steep, but again, I'm putting some faith in this, a little bit of motion, not the brightest thing to do, but I like it. HCAT, watch list it. Let's see what it does here. If it shows some life, it could be a really good purchase. Next is LRCX. I called it down here on the Discord. It's already up a few percent, which is pretty cool. It's making a nice ascending triangle as well, so is HCAT, right? You have a move up here, comes down, same resistance, comes down, same resistance, comes down. That is a textbook ascending triangle. The bulls have all the power pushing higher. Bears can only take over around 650. Again, 600 to 650, like 80% move. For every 600 bucks that you have to get 50 bucks back is a fantastic investment and how quick it moves, right? This is very volatile. When it gets down to value, it moves very quickly. Again, overreaction, earnings, overreaction, earnings, overreaction. Came up, came back, hopefully. Again, great spot to buy in for values down here. Let's check for a crossover. We don't have one. Now, the 200 does show great value, but again, it is starting to go more sideways. So I'm putting more emphasis into the support play more than anything here, right? You can wait another day or two for the 10 to come down. The 10 comes down, crossover, fantastic, but again, your value is probably under 600. We're a few dollars away. I wait for a crossover, up or better value. RSI's at 30. Stochastic is dummy low right where you want it. Bulls low, bears high. Everything checks out for value. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. I mean, losing a $5 value at a $600 product is not that big of a deal. So I think buying in here is not a horrible idea, but I'd watch this and see what it does tomorrow. Check the markets and let's see what it does. But again, I like it a lot. Next is MTCH. Again, on the year chart, this thing has been printing anytime it gets near this POC line here and gets down this low. Now, you can see, it taps 2 or 3 good times. It's not perfect here, right? But anytime you get below this POC, again, even closer maybe to 132, it prints. I would not buy here. Again, I called it out over here. It's already up about 3% since then. But when we get down below the POC, that's your value. We'll check the EMAs. Maybe it'll be a crossover play. I wouldn't pay more than 138 for this. If it dips back down, because you can see historically, it gets volatile towards the bottom. See how many lines that go back and forth? You break below here in almost 2 weeks. 1, 2, 3, quick, right? It comes down. So it does come back down. Look for that. But again, a great value just a bit lower. And we can check if we're going to have a crossover. You do. So if you cross back over the 10 here, you could buy in off that validate or off that confirmation of a move. Put your stop loss beneath this area, probably 140, and let that bad boy run. RSI, it's low. The stochastic's a bit high, but it's a pretty drastic move to make crossover, retest, and keep going. Bulls low, bear side. Everything checks out pretty good here. MTCH is too high for a value play right here. You want it a bit lower, but it's pretty good, right? And if you have a worst case scenario, cross over the 10, play off of that, could be fantastic. MTCH printed before, maybe it's going to print again. Next is RGLD, another glorious horizontal triangle. This is a great example of how trend line should have 3 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not an accident, right? Check the resistance trend line too. 1, 2, 3, 4 perfect hits. Again, not an accident, very, very clear. Again, I called it out earlier. It's up 2%. Possibly a crossover. The volume profile line could be a go signal. Maybe an EMA line is here. But again, you want to buy towards the trend line. It does get choppy, right? So you may have a day or two maybe to enter back in, right? We'll see what it does. But if this one takes off on you, that's fine. It's only going to make you 5 or 6% with no breakout. Nothing to write home about. But again, maybe we'll see an EMA line crossover. Let's check the indicators. And you can see the 10 is going to be your go signal here. As we're breaking above it, see I can't get above it. If you break above the 10 with some life, you can then buy in stop loss around 114.20 or so. Let that bad boy rip. RSI was right where you wanted it. Now it's showing some life. You have plenty of room to run up. That's fine. Stochastic again was low right where you want it. Showing some life. Love to see it. And again, bulls are still low. Bears are high. Plenty of room for this to run up and for the bears to get sold out. Like that a lot. RGLD makes a whole lot of sense. Even here, a lot of room to run up. I would definitely watch list it, see what it does. There may be, if you bring into account opportunity cost, there may be better choices out there for you and your opinions. But for if you like some form of confirmation reversal, RGLD tomorrow could really prove to be an easy, safe swing for you. Next is Tech, TECA, Biotechnique Corpcom. Household name, we all know that, right? No? Me neither. This is a fantastic uptrend again, right? And again, value has not been hit yet. We have an obvious little trend line. It's coming down, right? It hasn't broken anything. This is still very much alive as a downtrend. We want to get probably closer to 450, right? Let it come down to us, great. If we see a crossover, we'll see the EMA lines or some resistances across. We show some life, fine. But again, maximum here 7%. You're risking about 3.5. 2 to 1's not great, but if you were to get in at 450, we're risking 1.18 to 10. I'll take a 9 to 1, 10 to 1 play any day of the week, right? So right here it doesn't make much sense, knowing that a small pullback gives us a fantastic entry. But let's check these indicators out real quick, and you can see the 50 is going to be your go signal. So you can use the 10, but again, historically it breaks the 10 and back over it often with no real direction. But this 50 is going to be your go signal. You break over the 50, you get a lot of good life here. Because when you break over that 50, you're going to have properly stacked moves of price, 10, 50, 200. So waiting for that 50 cross makes a whole lot of sense to ride that bad boy up. Here, no value. Crossover's coming. We're no man's land. Give it a day or two. Watches it. Let's see what it does here. RSI, it's low, right where you want it. The stochastic is a, Gigafat bullish divergence, that's a fantastic sign right there. Bulls low, bears high. That bullish divergence is so evident, you can see it from freaking space. I like that a lot. Maybe you want to get it $10 cheaper. It's a $400 stock, so $10 is not much big of a difference. But again, that gives you a 3-to-1, right where it is. But instead, a small pullback to 10-to-1. You wait for the pullback. TECH, like it a lot. Let's see what we can do tomorrow. Last and not least is UCTT. All week I've been talking about this. I've been waiting for it to show some life, at least get to a better value. I called it over here. My Discord came up and came back down, said this is the time. Already up 3%, doing just fine. Possible triangle. I think it's more of an ascending triangle here. But again, you do have higher lows across the board. Lower low, higher low, higher low, possible higher low. So that does take in consideration a triangle in some form of consolidation. I'm curious to see if the EMA lines will be somewhere in the middle here on $48, $49, showing that they're going sideways as two, showing that we have consolidation. But again, very easy play, support, trend. POC is up right here too. A lot of convergence, should have a great buying spot. Let's check out the indicators. Yep, look at that. Who knew? You have your indicators at 49 and 51. Somewhere in the middle, they're showing they're going down, but consistently compared over here. What are they doing? Going sideways, right across the middle here. Showing consolidation. Yes, the 50 looks like it'll be a resistance. So if you don't break above that, you know why you're not living. But again, this is showing consolidation. It matches up pretty well. RSI, it's low. Looks good. Stochastic could be a bit lower. Again, you want to get in somewhere towards here. Give me 44, right? You get that, you're going to have stochastic do one of these. It's going to go oop, doop, and then do one of those. You want to see it kind of come down a little bit. And then again, it's consolidating on this vortex because again, we're going sideways. UCTT has the highest ceiling, but again, a pretty low floor as well for a stop loss. I like it a lot. Let's watch what it does, but UCTT has to be on your watch list. The fundamentals, do your own research, but in my opinion, my research, really do check out. And there you guys have it. That's the show of the day. Bum, bum. So this was a 17-minute episode. If you are new and you watched the whole entire episode, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment, all those kinds of great things. I appreciate it. Otherwise, tomorrow is going to be our last watch list of the week, our last Swingcast, and then Friday, Saturdays are reserved for me to work on my class and also drink a they didn't sponsor me, so screw you, company, to drink my seltzers because beer tastes gross to me because I'm a sissy. But otherwise, have a good rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you guys next time. I appreciate you.